All right, we are live. What's up, man? Go ahead and
How you
introduce.
doing?
Doing good.
Hey, hey, how you been?
Doing good, man. Lots of news, so it's going to be a good show.
Good, good. Yeah, just I'm gonna just say it out alive in about an hour. I'm gonna have to split, but
Yeah, and that's when
um,
we'll end it. We went three
yeah,
hours, two
last
shows
time.
today. That was too much. Last week, well, I don't think was too bad, but even then we went over two. So yeah, let's keep this. We'll be done by 9 o'clock. Sounds good.
Sounds good to
All
me.
right, let's
All right.
let's go right at it.
Yep.
Big as a Xbox person I am, I'm not happy with them, and it's not a big deal. It's not anything negative. It's just I think they're wasting money on Discord. I mean,
Mm,
it's an app for God's sake. It's not worth $10 billion. I don't care. It's just not. They're never gonna. And I know what they're buying it for. There is a reason. I get it. They're gonna integrate. Wow, that's I'm not even
integrate.
pronouncing. Yeah, I'm not even pronouncing words correctly. Their whole playing your crap on your phone, which nobody's gonna do. Come on, that's gonna be a huge failure. It already is a huge failure as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, uh, the apps on the TVs that may go a little bit better. But anyway, they want there's already 100 million people that use Discord. Most of that 100 million are PC players.
Right.
That's how they do their talk. Um, Talk's not the right word, is it? That's how they do their
Yeah. Voice chats.
voice chat. There you go. See, that's why I need you. Because I don't do a lot of voice chat. I don't play multiplayer games. I don't even play co-op stuff, which I want to talk about a co-op game here in a little bit. It takes two, which looks great. But anyway, I just don't get it. Why? I mean, for God's sake, come on. They tried to buy fucking TikTok, for God's sake. They are so desperate to get some big internet app that has a built-in audience that it looks to me it's almost embarrassing. Like they're desperate.
I don't know about. Yeah, Discord is a weird decision. I mean, I don't know. I
I
mean, I
get them wanting
guess.
it. I get them wanting it, but apparently Discord contacted them. But the whole 10 million, at some point you got to say, no, we'll give you 10 million. Let's drop that whole B talk. You're a
Hmm.
fucking app. Uh, Somebody's suckering Xbox big time. And it's not like they've not overpaid for stuff before, though. I mean, all you got to do is look. Who's the developer that makes Spider-Man for Sony?
Insomniac.
Insomniac. That's the perfect example. Sony bought Insomniac for 69 cents and a bag of fucking chips. They did. It was pathetic the amount they paid. They so underpaid for that company. It's now had two massive games for them and have got a couple more in the pipeline. And then it was already a developer that had been making games for Sony. They'd done the one thing for Microsoft, which is a really good game that nobody bought. A
I
lot of
know.
people played because Microsoft, once it flopped, they gave it away on games with gold pretty early. But anyway, that's not the point of all this. The point is Sony buys something like that and they get it on the cheap. Microsoft buys something and pays 8-10 billion. I just don't get it. I get. I was so happy with the Bethesda purchase.
Oh yeah, that's a given. But I
And
mean,
I
but that
thought
makes
what they
sense.
spent was about right what it should have cost them. I mean, because you're getting a lot of studios, a lot of developers, and people don't realize it's more than that. You get the buildings, you get all that.
Oh yeah,
It's a it was
lock,
a
stock,
big
and
deal.
barrel. Yeah.
But Discord, I'm sorry, that's a tiny company, so you get their offices. Whoopee. I don't know how many people work for them, but it's still just an app that people they could have just went to them and worked out a licensing deal. Hey, Discord, we don't want to own you, but we want to license your app so that people on their cell phones that play Xbox games will be able to have a chat function without having to do whatever they
You
do.
know, it's funny. It's really funny because that's kind of what Nintendo did with their Switch. They have their own app and you can chat through it. It's
Yeah,
almost like a Discord, and it's like
yeah,
everyone criticized Nintendo for that. Now it's almost like Microsoft's going that route. I mean,
and they
to be
are.
fair, Microsoft does have a good voice chat, with their games. That's
They
fine.
already have a good one. That's what I'm saying. I don't, and I
Right.
don't give a
But
crap. Here's people come at me with, oh, it's a PC, blah, blah, PC, blah, blah, PC. I don't give a fuck about PC players. I'm not a PC gamer. I'm never going to be a PC gamer. So I don't give a fuck. Gaming is a selfish hobby. It's very expensive. And I just don't think,
It really is.
I don't care about somebody on a PC playing games and how they voice chat with each other. I just don't. And they already use this. They don't need Microsoft to buy Discord. In fact, here's what's going to happen. Microsoft's going to pay $10 billion for this. And this $100 million, that about 80 million of our PC players, they're going to find something else. They're going to quit using it.
Well, look what happened to Skype. Hate to say it.
PC players hate Microsoft. And yeah, there's some
ironic.
Of them come
the
around.
irony behind that one.
I know. But some of them have come around with Game Pass for PC, but not a lot, not as many as you think. The numbers of people that are subscribing and actually paying for just the Game Pass for PC, it's not nearly as big as, most of the people that do it game on both.
Right.
They get the Ultimate and they game on their Xbox, but they also got a PC somewhere in their house or at work or wherever, and they use it. And then they're getting to play games that way. But that lone PC guy that he's a PC Nazi or a PC master race. He ain't using Game Pass. He's just not. And he don't want anything to do with Microsoft. He hates Microsoft. And they're desperately what they're trying to do, I believe, and I could be totally wrong on this, but what I believe, they're looking at that 100 million people that are going to be on Microsoft Discord, even though they're just using it for voice chat. They're going to, and every time they log on and fire up Discord, boom, that's one more person using the Xbox network. They're not calling it Xbox Live anymore. It's Xbox Network.
Right. Yeah.
They
No, that
turn around and tell other people. So their numbers are going to jump from whatever their active user base is now. Oh, it's going to go through the roof when they get this deal complete. That's why I think they're doing it, just so, because, hey, I get it. Phil ran his mouth about 2 billion gamers that they're trying to reach, which they're never going to get, okay? And I get it. There are 2 billion people playing games because of their cell phones and things. But that gamer, that elusive unicorn of a 50-year-old grandmother who's actually working, to keep paying bills and surviving, and she's at work in the break room playing Candy Crush. She ain't fucking using Game Pass. She's not going to be playing Halo on there. No. They get the fuck over that. They're just not reaching that gamer. They're just not. And they think they are, but they're just not. I'm just telling you. They might, however, this is where they're going to get really beefed up numbers. They might reach that unicorn of a gamer who lives in China, and he can't afford a PC at home, and he doesn't like having to pay to use a PC, cafe, whatever, internet cafe, to be on a PC to play games. He might do it some, but that gets old and that gets money down the tube. But he has a cell phone in his pocket. And if they can figure out how to get him that app where he can, that might be somebody they get in China. I don't know if they're getting that same Japanese person in Japan, because that person can already play Xbox if he wanted to, can already play games on a cell phone, can already do whatever. They're not, I just don't think they're reaching that one, but they might reach that one in China because he doesn't have access to everything that this will give him more. So, but I don't know 100% for sure. Who knows about stuff like that? I'm not a.
Well, they apparently found value in it, so we'll see where they go with it. As long as they don't turn it into Skype, I think they're good. But
I hope they do. I hope it fucking crashes and burns. I'm sorry. Sometimes I like to see the world burn.
That's fine.
They stole that. The Joker, by the way. Damn motherfuckers, movie guys. They steal some of my great quotes. I was living in Panama many, many years before that movie ever come out. And I was about to go out one night, and there was people at work was like, "What are your plans?" And I was like, "I'm going to burn down the fucking world. That's what my plans are for tonight." And then 10 years later, I hear the Joker spouting something very similar. I'm like, "What? Motherfucker." But whatever. That's really getting away from it. We only got an hour. I got to stop back.
Yep, 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 yep.
Reel me in, man. Reel me in.
Focus,
Okay, let's move
focus.
on. Enough about my unhappiness with them throwing away 10 billion on Discord when they could be buying Capcom. Capcom's not worth 10 billion. So that's more than enough cheddar. They could own fucking Capcom. Enough said.
Well, there it is.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And people think, oh, they're still going to get the money to buy more. No, they're not. Listen, Xbox money comes from Microsoft. Xbox doesn't generate. Well, they're getting to the point where they're going to be generating. I get it with their Game Pass subscriptions. They're going to generate more money. But right now, I'm telling you, Xbox doesn't have $10 million laying around on a counter to grab and go throw away on something. So this is Microsoft money. And it's going to be Microsoft money that's going to pay for somebody like Capcom or getting a couple of Konami IPs and having to get a couple of developers to make the games. And there's going to be a point where they're going to be like, no, man, sorry, but fuck, we bought that app for you. You got it. Right? You loving that, right? You loving that Discord live. I just think it's a waste. And that's enough negative stuff. Let's move on to, well, actually, it's not. Let's move on to the show yesterday. Holy crap. Did you watch the...
Not yet. No.
Don't. Please don't. Well, here's what you need to do. Just find somebody that's got just the breakdowns on the game.
Oh, that's easy enough to get.
Yeah. Here, the thing was 4 fucking hours. I jump on a podcast with Xbot 448. My buddy, my brother. He came on this show with us that time. Remember?
Yep, I remember. Yeah.
So,
awesome guy.
Not like he just out of the blue invited me either. I contacted him and said, dude, I won't be on. I know you're gonna be doing a show today. I'd like to be on it. If you need me, you know. And he was like, yeah, I'll send you a link. He didn't know. I didn't know. 4 fucking hours. So after 2.5 hours, we realized it was a 4-hour show, and yeah, we just canceled. He said, no, him and Sir X-Man were gonna go play golf. You know, video golf, not real golf.
I get it.
It was my son's birthday, and we were going out to dinner. We went to a Japanese restaurant.
Happy birthday.
Thing. Yeah.
That's nice.
He's almost middle-aged. Holy shit, that's crazy. I have like a middle-aged son. One is middle-aged, and the other one's about to be. That's really crazy. And of course, in my mind, they're like one's 4 and one's...
Oh, I know. Yeah, you know, they're always your little ones.
But anyway, that show was horrible. They had 2 really, I guess I can be inappropriate, 2 smoking hot Twitch chicks. Yes, they were both very beautiful. But God, some of the crap coming out of their mouth was like, do these girls even play games? I'm sorry, they're pretty, and I'm sure they got... we get 12 fucking views, and these girls probably get thousands and thousands of views on Twitch. But yeah, they were not. Yeah, come on. I'm sorry, but it was just but it wasn't even their fault. But the show was just horrible, dude. They would, between them talking forever and ever, then they'd show a little bit of a game, come back, and then they would have developers that were getting interviewed. And I don't even mind that a little bit, but my God, it would go on for 15, 20, 25 minutes. I'm like, this is even talking on the show live, we were like, oh God, this is horrible. And he kept their sound down, so people would just hear us talking, because it was that bad.
That's unfortunate.
But the games were great. No, all these indie games were great. I'm like, why would you? They could have had a wonderful 1 hour, maybe 90-minute show would have been about perfect.
That's one thing I gotta give Nintendo.
Yes,
when they do their like, you know, their webcast, it's, you know, straight to the point. Boom, 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 done. I love it that way.
Whose fault it was? Maybe it was because they were partnership with Twitch on this, and it was ID and Xbox games. But the bottom line is, Xbox was paying for this. This wasn't coming out of Microsoft's money. This is Xbox money, and they were one to put the show together. Just because they partnered with Twitch, that doesn't mean you got the right to like do something horrible that's bad. And I rarely ever criticize any of Xbox shows. There's been plenty of E3 shows that I was like, oh, I loved it. It was a great, great show. And the rest of the internet was out with torches and pitchforks on how bad the Xbox show was. But wow, this time I couldn't even defend that. It was really bad. But I love the games. I've seen so many great looking indie games that are coming.
I
But
think indie games are where it's at. I really love indie games. To me, they're more exciting than the AAA stuff that's coming out. Not all the AAA, but a lot of them.
yeah, this was great for that. So look up these games. I mean,
Oh, I will.
it was awesome. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yesterday
Anyway,
I
we
was
were
just slammed at work, so I couldn't even look.
well, yeah, you'd have put you to sleep. You don't want to be going to sleep at work anyway.
No. That's
And there was some really bad games. There was like some no shit, lawnmower simulator.
yeah. I've heard about that one.
Yeah, they showed that, and I'm like, oh, please God, no. And I get it.
12,
There's an audience for all
12
that stuff.
teraflops for that.
Yeah, there is, but there's an audience for that stuff.
I know.
But it ain't me. It ain't me. It's not ever going to be me. And again, gaming is selfish, so it ain't for me. I don't care about it, and I don't want to.
And there's nothing wrong with that because honestly, there's so much out there and there's so
Yeah.
much variety. You don't have to like everything. And if it's not for you, fine. You're right. There's an audience for it. It'll be for them. Great. Like I love a certain type of game myself. I like certain platformers and things. Some people hate them. I don't.
That's what's so cool about that. It Takes Two. It's sad that it's a co-op game and you can only play a co-op. But it's got some of the best looking. You just said the word. Wow, we're out of my head.
Platforming.
Platforming. I kept trying to say hop and bop game. But yeah, that was like wasn't really applicable. This was more just platforming. And
Say Hop and Bop is more of the Mario, although not really so much anymore. Now it's
not now, but it was back then.
It was, yeah. But that
Super Mario Brothers 3 and Super Mario World was all about hop and bop, and this was just platforming taken to the 10th degree or whatever. But the game looks really good, but you really can't play it solo. It is, and you can either do it online co-op or couch co-op, but you have to go co-op.
It's like the co-op in Portal 2. That was awesome, actually. I mean, but you can play split screen.
Yeah, that's what this is. It's split screen.
That's cool.
And it's looks awesome. So I got nothing but props to those guys. It's actually they're not that big of a dev, but EA releases the game. Of course, they did the other one. I can't think of the name of the other game they did. Where the two guys like escape or something from. I think they escape from prison or something. I don't know.
That's a couple of different games, but that's okay.
I might not even be thinking of the same game that these people did, but they did some other co-op game that was not quite great. It had its flaws and stuff, and then they ironed out everything on this and did something really, really cool.
That's cool. Well, I'll check it out. It Takes Two. All right. Cool.
Now, all right, I've bitched about Discord, bitched about the horrible ID at Xbox indie Twitch extravaganza. So what's good? I'll tell you what's good. It's not just good, it's great. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Holy shit. Only
yes.
2 episodes, but it's been so good. Did some things I wasn't expecting, so I'm really pleased. I was worried that it was going to be cookie cutter, and it's not been. Now, anybody that says these Marvel shows are very film-like or like big, long movies are full of shit. They're not. They're still TV shows. I can tell the difference. I watched the whole Justice League thing, and that was a 4-hour movie. It was amazing. Loved it. And I love Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I loved WandaVision. But Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision are TV shows. They just are. And that's not a bad thing. Over the last decade and a half, yeah, I'd say a good 15 years, the amount of money pumped into making television shows has increased to the point where they do look like films, but they're still not. I mean, it's just not the same. And
yeah, it's not. I mean, there's definitely a difference there.
Yeah, even these TV shows, they're greenlit and once they start filming, man, it's like wham, bam. You got a week, and then they get it in the can. Even the stuff at Marvel, they still run on schedules just like other television shows. It ain't like they're doing it. Oh, we can take 6 months to do this. No, that's not how they're doing what's happening. But you can clearly see they're spending more money on these. They are amazing to look at. And not in a bad, oh, it's slick way. No, it's just really well filmed. Good action, and in between, still plenty of character development and things.
That's good. Yeah,
that's what makes television shows great. That extra character development that you just can't get in movies.
Yeah, because you have the time. You have you're telling a story over 23 hours or so. Collectively versus 2.5, 3 hours.
And I hate that 23-hour thing because you get too much fodder. I love these 10-hour, 12-hour, 15 is actually the perfect amount.
Same thing though, but I mean, you're right. But but still, like 15 hours. The point is, you can expand characters, and as long as you pace it well, and that's what these shows are, designed to do. It's great. I mean, yeah, I agree.
In fact, if it meant could I get 15 weeks of Falcon and the Winter Soldier over 6 weeks, if they got to cut the budget in half to give me those extra episodes, I'd be fine with that. Maybe, but I don't know. Depends on how they could keep the quality up. But I think they'd be all right.
I think they'll be fine. It's not like it's advertising. I mean, it's really straightforward. I mean,
there's been plenty of superhero shows, and you can really tell the difference between a weekly episode of The Flash, where they do 20 episodes or 23 episodes a season, as opposed to this Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There is a huge leap, but yeah, that's some good quality stuff. And of course, I think, didn't we already talk about the Justice League, or was that out when we did our live show?
I think it was out, but I don't think either of us watched it. I still have not yet. I haven't had the chance. I plan on it next week.
It's well worth your
I heard.
time. It's
I heard.
Wondrous, in fact. Holy cow. And I'm not a Whedon hater. I know like females now all hate him because a couple of the Buffy cast are on his ass, but I don't know about that. I wasn't around, so I don't know how he treated people on set. And honestly, I don't care. They're all rich actors or actresses. If he was mean to them, tough shit. They got paid a lot of money. I don't care about them. I care about the poor guy maybe working at a factory. He's got an asshole boss that's yelling at him and treating him like shit. That bothers me. It doesn't bother me when some rich actress gets yelled at by Joss Whedon and has her feelings hurt, or some big time actor. Tough shit. Oh, he cut most of my screen time out. Oh well, you still got paid, didn't you? Shut up. No, I don't care. Did he? But here's what I do care about. All that stuff that was shot, he didn't use. He refilmed things that didn't need to be refilmed. And to my understanding, the only new stuff Snyder actually filmed was that epilogue stuff at the end. That was all new. And the stuff between Batman and the Joker at the end there, that was new. But everything else in the movie, there was some special effects shots and other things that he's been working on the last few months to finish. And then they had to redo the soundtrack or bring back the old soundtrack. I don't know which, but all has to be seen.
I think it's a brand new soundtrack, yeah.
Yeah, he brought back his original guy, Junkie XL, which everybody hears Junkie XL, and I think they think it's some like young black rap guy. No, he's an old white guy too, composing the music. But yeah, whatever. Where he come up with Junkie
I like
XL.
his music. I do. He was
he's an excellent composer.
Yeah, and I think he do Mad Max Fury Road.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I love his stuff.
And the thing was, Whedon brought in his guy, the one that like did the original Batmans or whatever, and I can't think his name. Famous composer, but he's like in his 90s now. Okay, he didn't do a bad job for the original Justice League movie, but there is a difference though. The score of Junkie XL is better. It just is. I own the original theatrical cut of Justice League, and I've watched it like 3 times. And then now I've watched the whole 4 hour cut 2 times 4 hour cut. But yeah, the soundtrack's better. And yeah, it's still Snyder. It's still highly what word am I looking for? I don't want to say sensationalized. It's stylized, highly stylized. It is.
Oh yeah.
It's Snyder's look on and take on action. So if you've not liked any of his previous stuff, you're probably not going to like this.
No, I love his stuff.
If you love this stuff, you're going to love this even more to a degree because it's it's good stuff. And I hope, and even though the studio's already come out and said this was the end for the Snyder stuff, blah blah blah, fuck them. They never wanted this to happen. This, as much as I hate to say it, we can thank AT&T for this cut. They're the ones that said let's do this, not Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers were screaming no, 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 but AT&T owns Warner Brothers, and they said yes, we got to make this fucking channel a success, and we need content because again, just like Microsoft's doing in the gaming world, content is king. You need more and more of it. And AT&T, thank you. They actually gave him a shit ton of more money, even though this movie had already went way over budget back in the day when they brought Whedon in and all the reshoots and the stuff he did. And they're not getting that money back as far as although they'll release this on 4K and Blu-ray, but it's not going to sell enough. It's going to ever get their money back. But they'll get eyeballs on their channel, and that's what they needed. That's what they wanted.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? The whole reason that Whedon came in the first place was because of what happened to Snyder's family.
Yeah,
he had issues, so he had to drop out for a while. But it's awesome that he came back, and it's awesome that he gave him the money to do this.
Yeah, but again, AT&T, not Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers stabbed him in the back after his daughter died, very tragically.
Yeah,
I don't want to get into that over there because that's like their private business. But the thing was, they basically fired him, and they brought Whedon in, and then gave Whedon, God bless him, he's getting murdered all over the internet, and he hasn't raised his hand and said, "Whoa, shut up, y'all! I did exactly what I was paid to do. Warner Brothers wanted this." He ain't said shit. He just kept his mouth shut. It was a bad situation for him, and of course, he was already getting hammered on the internet anyway for like yelling at little girls on TV shows, so whatever. But anyway, it's a glorious thing that something like this got done, and they just throwed all 4 other hours of it out there, and it goes by so quick. It does not, honestly. I didn't realize I hadn't watched a 90-minute movie. It really felt that quick. It's so good.
That's good. That's definitely a sign of a great movie.
Yeah, and I hope that people just to fuck Warner Brothers because they've made some really bad decisions in the last few years in regards to DC stuff. Anyway, that people keep coming about keep the Snyderverse going or bring back the Snyderverse or whatever they're calling it now. They need to, because you know what they're wanting to do. Warner Brothers is wanting to do Black Superman.
Yeah, we discussed that.
And you can do that, though. You can do Snyderverse and do a Black Superman movie. And then they got their Batman, which is already a flaming dumpster right now. The new Batman movie. Apparently the director and Pattinson or Patterson or however he pronounces his name, the what do you call him? The vampire that he was in those movies, glowing, twinkling vampire or whatever.
Oh, Twilight.
Yeah, apparently he's a big dick, and even though he's made a bunch of indie movies that turned out pretty good, and people were like, "Yeah, he can actually act. He's not just the twinkling vampire or whatever." Just because he can act and do all that doesn't mean he's not an ass. And apparently, he's an ass. And being signed to be Batman, and then now he's on another big, massive franchise like Twilight was. And that shit went to his head. And they're having all kinds of troubles on set with him, and he refused to bulk up, so he's going to be, And I didn't even care about that, to be honest, because the first guy played Batman.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, he never buffed up. They just used the
They
suit.
need to. Yeah,
But the thing was, it did look bad in the suit, and he couldn't move and all that. But now they've got better ways of doing the suit, so they can turn and move and do the action without. And you don't even got to have the star do it. You just use all stuntmen for that anyway. So I could care less about it. But if your director asks you to do that, and you've got this 6 or 9 month where the movie's been pushed back because of COVID and because mostly because theaters are closed, and you can't. This movie's got to make $1 billion, or it's going to be considered a failure.
right.
So they're like, "You got some time? Go ahead and buff up for me," and he fucking refused. And apparently, yeah, he's just been trouble on set throughout. So hopefully the director will overcome that, and it'll still be a great movie because I love Batman movies, but.
Yeah, I'm a huge Batman fan myself, and yeah, I've been reading about that too. So I will see.
I keep hoping somehow they keep Snyderverse going.
I agree.
Affleck his Batman movie that he had written. Let him make that. You can have 2 different Batmans at the same time. Why Warner Brothers doesn't think you can do that? That's just
they just mishandle it. I don't know.
You know,
I agree with you.
Maybe 30 years ago you couldn't have 2 different guys play the same character and do a movie like that. But now, what did I just say about content being king?
Right.
You got to have more content, and you can't put everything in theaters anymore. I'd be begging Snyder right now. I'd be like, hey, we'll guarantee you 1 blockbuster movie every 3 years of your choice, whatever you want to do. But you're going to do a Batman with Affleck on her Warner.
You know, I'm gonna make a bold statement here. I really liked Affleck as Batman.
Oh, I did too.
I thought he was great.
Here's how crazy I am. I liked Jared Leto as the Joker, and even before these scenes come up with him looking so amazing at the ending of this Justice League, I actually liked the Leto's Joker. I thought it was great. Was it as good as the guy before? Probably not, but it was still damn good. People hated that Joker, though.
I know.
Suicide Squad, but
I feel like if the Suicide Squad got because the Joker had a lot more scenes.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's supposedly
a haircut.
Yeah, I want to see the haircut with all that Joker footage put back in. But they said no to that too. By the way, when they released that little press thing saying that they're done with the Snyderverse, there's going to be no haircut. I'm like, man, y'all pretty quick to be saying that shit. AT&T might want that actually on their channel, because you know what, Warner, you don't own that channel. Okay, that's AT&T's property, and they need subscribers and they need viewers, and the only way they're going to get that is if they've got truly original good content. So y'all might want to shut the fuck up and let some of your people make movies again.
Yeah. I think they will. Because AT&T, if they're the ones that call the shots, not Warner, because they own them.
Yeah.
You know, if the higher ups say you'd make it, you've got no choice. Oops.
Yeah.
Hey, my cat's here. Hey, kitten. So, yeah. And let's see. I think in other news, although I haven't played it yet, Monster Hunter came out for Switch. Yep. Apparently it's really good, although I haven't checked it out yet. I'm kind of
online issues right when it dropped.
Well,
I don't know what that was, but apparently there was something happening.
Yeah, I mean, I take those with a little bit of a grain of salt, just because they'll straighten that out. Honestly, I mean, it's annoying. Yeah, I know, but I think that'll get straightened out. Plus, it's the Switch isn't exactly known for its online structure, so there's that. But I'm like hit or miss overall with Monster Hunter. Like some of them,
how did that end up being just on Switch right now? As big as Monster Hunter was on PlayStation and Xbox, why would you?
Well, the Switch is huge still.
I know, but it's bigger than the other two. I mean,
granted,
there's 100 million PS4s out there. There's 50 or 60 million Xbox Ones. They got the new consoles going, so it would have been cross generational, and yet you go with 60 million Switches or how many ever they are.
I think they're over 85 now.
Or 85
It's
million,
getting
yeah.
up there. Yeah, I mean that's a healthy amount,
Yeah.
but true to
But I would
also
have thought it would have been on everything at once like they did
and
last time. It didn't
you
make
know
sense to me.
it might. But here's the thing, too. The way I look at it, I mean, I agree with you. I'm a little surprised it didn't come out on everything, but and it might be a timed exclusive. We might see this in the future on the other
I
systems.
was gonna say, I don't think Nintendo pays to keep games off of the consoles. You're
No,
either Nintendo exclusive or you're not. It's so yeah, that was kind of weird.
well, but too that what I was going to say was that did have a huge showing on the Wii U of all things, and the 3DS. So and that sold well on those systems. So
Yeah.
Monster
Right.
Hunter will sell. I mean, it's on the Switch.
Well,
It
maybe
will.
it's we're sorry because Monster Hunter didn't debut on the Switch. It came out on the other two
No, it came out actually. Monster
later.
Hunter actually started as a PlayStation property,
No, I'm talking
and
about just this current
oh,
thing that's
the
going on
world,
now.
the
It,
world
it
types.
released on the Xbox One and PS4
Yes,
same time.
yes,
It
that was
didn't
it.
come out to the Switch till later.
Right. The Switch is a brand new game.
Yeah.
It's Monster Hunter Rise is brand new, but it's along the same lines as Monster Hunter World, which is what came out on the PS4 and the
But,
Xbox One.
right, but Monster Hunter World that's on the Switch now, isn't it? Or
No,
did it? Oh, it
nope,
never. Oh,
never
so this
appeared.
makes sense to me then. This is definitely Capcom saying sorry we fucked you. I get it. I get that.
Yeah,
Sometimes you got to do that. I think all of a sudden Xbox getting all these uh, Sega Alta stuff and getting a bunch of Square Enix stuff is yeah, we're sorry. We've been screwing you over for a while. Here's these games. Throw them in Game Pass. And then
right.
now we'll start doing some more stuff day and date with you. Maybe.
Yeah,
We'll see.
a lot of people discounted Nintendo, but now that they're kind of back in the game, no pun intended. Um,
Hey,
that's why I think you're seeing a lot.
we got Chesno Elite. Chesno, I don't know how to say it, but we got to watch your thing. He's always in chat for everything. I love him. I always
Oh,
make sure.
hey,
I always
yep.
say hi to him when I'm in chats.
Hey there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no worries about being late. There's no such thing as late.
No, not
All
with
good.
us. Although we're keeping it short tonight. So
Yep.
which is a new
So,
thing for us.
oh, I do have an update on my situation with. Remember, I think it was 2 weeks ago. I mentioned that the Saturn, the controller, the receiver,
Yeah.
bricked itself. So I guess this is the power of good old social media. I complained about it a few times, and actually, Retrobit reached out to me directly.
So
So,
what you're saying is Retrobit was watching our show?
well,
No,
I
I'm
don't think they're watching the
joking,
show,
man.
but they at least saw my Twitter anyway.
Yeah,
So,
I was going to say they wasn't watching the show. Although there was 12 people, one of them could have been somebody from Retrobit.
you never know. You never know. Well, either
Actually,
way,
that show was 13 viewers. So that 13th could have been the Retrobit guy.
you never know. Well, anyway, they reached out to me on Twitter, and they put me in touch with one of their reps, and we did a back and forth, and they're sending me a new receiver
Sweet.
because it something's wrong with it. So okay, so I can honestly say I'll say it's a good controller, which it is. It works great. Just the receiver thing was a mess, but I'm glad that they did reach out to me because
I
I was
have
ready
their
to write
little
it
box
off.
that's it's like a mini, but it's just PC games. It's made by Retrobit. I don't know what the name of the damn thing is, but anyways, yeah, it's just full of PC games and it's really, really hackable. So hopefully Retrobit's not fucking listening because I hacked their little mini console and put like an extra couple of thousand games on it.
Let's do the Jet. I think you did not hear that just now.
Exactly. But
I
yeah,
did
I
get
used it in one of those one ups. I got the Street Fighter one, you know what I'm talking about? Upright.
yes.
Okay, I put this Retrobit thing in it, and I actually had to do a little bit of wire cutting and this and that, and now that console has a couple thousand games on it. It's pretty damn cool.
But that's cool. You get the joystick and everything with those. It's nice.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of retrobit, I did pick up, or it got mailed to me finally. The Toaplan. Oh God, I'm horribly pronouncing that name. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Collection.
Total
It,
plan.
yeah, for the
I love them.
Genesis. Yeah. I
Oh,
gotta
you got
say
the
that
four.
set looks
You
amazing. It's
got that.
amazing.
Damn, I wanted to get it, but it's like I have those games for free in my EverDrives, and I just couldn't see paying that money for it. Although I've watched probably 30 different videos over the past 6 months when it first debuted, and then they started shipping them. And yeah, that's a awesome
Oh,
collection. I love stuff like that.
it's put together so well. It's like because I got the full set, and it comes in this nice little cardboard, like good quality cardboard, like slipcase that you can put them all in. They're in the original, well, the Genesis, clam shell cases, those
Oh yeah.
plastic cases. They did use like foil embossing on the labels for the cartridges. The cartridges are actually clear and red, which is really cool. And what I really like, because they put in like a bunch of stickers and a bunch of like they put a certificate of on this that yeah, certificate of authenticity. Geez, slow down, woman. Um, and um, uh, and it was just it's amazing. But what I really loved is the instruction manual. Not only is it in color, but you get the English and the Japanese in one
Sweet.
manual. It's just a really well done and well put together
Yeah,
collection.
I've watched a bunch of videos on them, and it looked like a great package. I just couldn't see spending that money when
And that's fair.
I've got
Yeah.
every one of those games already. I can play. I can play it on original hardware, so it's like, wow. But I wanted to support doing that because I want more games done that way. Uh, but I also knew that this was going to sell out completely, and it did.
Oh yeah.
And so they didn't need my support as far as that. But I want more. I want somebody else to do, a compile collection.
Oh yes.
That kind of
Well,
thing. And then
there is a less. Well, it's not complete by any stretch of the imagination, but I know there's an less collection coming out for the Switch, or maybe it is out.
yeah,
So I think it's out in Japan. That's cool, but it only covers like from like the Master System up to I think like the first Genesis game or something.
yeah,
It's still missing quite a few. Doesn't have the I don't think it has the TurboGrafx. I have to look it up. I could be wrong. There's only like 4 games on it, and there's like 8 or 10 in the whole series.
oh yeah,
So they're missing a couple. One of my favorites, and people debate this, which is fair. One of my favorites is Super Celeste or Super Space Megaforce for the
yep,
Super Nintendo,
love it, yeah,
and that game was amazing. And like and I respect people liking like Musha and all that, the other ones
yeah,
prior more, but that's fine. I prefer that one. That's me. But they're all awesome. They're all
yeah.
awesome.
There's so much can be done. It really upsets me that Xbox. Why somebody puts all this together in a great, wonderful collection like that? Why isn't somebody at Xbox going, hey, let's put these exact games from this little package as a one-time $9.99 fee, and we'll make it look the best it can possibly look.
I was
And
kind of hoping I'd hear something from yesterday about that, but oh well.
yeah, and you can and play those games on your modern console. And they don't have to be rebuilt from the ground up. Nothing. As much as I'd love something like that too, I just want those games on my Xbox because I collect everything on my Xbox. I have this massive library, and it bugs me when I can't get stuff like that on it. And shooters in general, or shumps, or whatever people want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
I was bitching about Discord earlier, and I actually signed up totally by accident to a shump Discord. Yeah, how niche can you get about something? But some guy does YouTube videos now that plays shumps. It's all the games me and you talk about and like. And
well, I will say Xbox did get one game that no one else did, and it's a banger. Radiant Silvergun.
yep.
So I give them that. So do I. I'll give them that because that one is amazing, and no other system got. I mean, other than the original.
Yeah, that was one of the
no
ones
one else
that
got it.
when they were about that point in time, they were moving away from shumps to bullet hell games, and that kind of straddles both of the two genres.
Yeah.
And almost everything after that were all just bullet hell. And don't get me wrong, I love some bullet hell too. I have a crap ton for my 360 of cave games. I
Oh
love
yeah.
cave, but
Caves.
I really like these other games we've been talking about that I like to call shoot 'em ups. Uh, I like better than just straight bullet hell. But I love bullet hell games too, but I prefer just straight shoot 'em
Oh,
up.
I just remembered a game I wanted to look up. I got it for the arcade archives for the Switch in the Hunt, but
Oh,
apparently it's a Saturn
yes. I have it on
game,
my Saturn. It's
and
amazing.
I really want to get that one.
But
I mean,
that
I have the Switch one, but
those guys went on to do the Metal Slug stuff.
hmm yeah,
They're
just
NECA or NECA or something. I don't know. They I can't. I'm not spelling it right and I'm not pronouncing it right, but their company morphed. You know how a bunch of guys leave one company and just
yeah, they
start
created a
another
new
one.
one. Sure.
Yeah, and that's kind of how the whole compile. They went on to something else, and same thing for Toa Plan. Those guys went on to different name company, and this was the same thing with that. But In the Hunt's amazing. It is yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
I
I
keep
had the.
saying why isn't that on my Xbox? They're supposed to be always talking about game preservation, and nobody's keeping them from putting a game like that on there and just beefing it up a little. I'm not talking about putting much money, if any money, into it, but just make sure that it looks and plays correctly. It's the right aspect ratio, and it wouldn't be hard to do, but yet, and say you wouldn't say no or whoever owns it, you know. But yeah, I guess not enough people would buy it or play it is why that didn't happen. I
Yeah.
don't know how in the hell that ACA got the rights to all these Neo Geo games, and they're on all three of the major console guys, and it's great. You can just buy them and they look and play
Oh yeah.
great. And
Oh yeah.
why isn't somebody doing that with all these other kind of games from back in the day? It kills me.
I'm a little surprised. I mean, because like I said, the Switch version is the arcade one. Which is fine. That's you can't ask for better than that. And I'm happy with it. I just like to get, if I can, like the original disc games for like the Saturn, and like I have Darius Gaiden
Yeah.
for the Saturn. Love that one.
Well, I
Um,
have
what
burned the
others?
copies for all that on my Saturn, but they all play great. And now, actually, I've got them. They're not even burned copies. I've got them on a SD card on my Satinator.
Right. Yep. Yeah. I remember you telling me that.
It's so funny, but yeah,
Oh, I did manage to pick up recently for a good price. I finally found it for a decent price. Was Dracula X on the Saturn, or Symphony of the Night, the Saturn version?
yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. So I finally got my copy of that. So, a little story behind that. Back in the day, I walked into a GameStop and they were selling it, the Japanese version, brand new for $20. And I didn't at the time. I was just like starting out. This was like literally like in the late '90s when first came out. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. I'm not going to bother. I had never stopped kicking myself. $20 brand new. Oh my god! And I finally got it. And yes, it was open, but it comes with everything. It's in mint condition. It even comes with the Japanese registration card. I love it.
Hey,
Um, it's awesome.
Shizno Elite has a question about what's the difference between a shoot 'em up and a bullet hell game.
Well,
There
Bullet
is a
Hell,
difference.
there's a very big difference. Bullet Hell is just that. It's where the game bombards you with a shit ton of bullets. You
Yeah,
literally, I mean, it literally covers the screen. Denmaku games, for example, are Bullet Hell games. I think that literally roughly translates to bullet hell or some kind
yeah.
of hell.
Well,
Um,
some games had to actually
Shmups.
turn the color of the bullets. They made them pink, so there's always been a joke about pink bullets
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you couldn't see them. There'd be so many, and to figure out, yeah, they
Yeah. So you're basically dodging bullets most of the time. That's what a
yeah,
bullet hell
that's the whole thing of the game. It becomes
Yep.
almost hypnotic for you to be
Yes.
able to stay in those patterns. And there are people who can like just. I have watched some videos of some Japanese dudes in an arcade playing some cave games, and I'm like, what the fuck? How can they
I
be doing that?
I know. I'm blown
And
away.
they get so dialed in, and we're shoot 'em ups. You just learn the pattern of the enemies,
Yep. So
not necessarily the bullets.
it's yeah so the shmups. I mean, they shoot at you, but shmups are more based on the enemies themselves, the
Yeah,
ships. There's a lot of ships on the screen. Sometimes they don't shoot at you. Sometimes they do kamikaze things, but that's the main difference. Like when you have like environments and ships, like R-Type. R-Type is a shmup.
yeah.
That is a hardcore shmup. Gradius is a shmup. Um, those are basics. Just more enemies than bullets on the screen. Whereas bullet hells are the opposite.
I have a faceplate for my
Over
360
to oversimplify it.
for some Japanese bullet hell game. I don't remember what the name of the game is, but I have that faceplate on my 360. It's so beautiful.
Mm,
One of these days, maybe I'll drag that thing in here and flip
I
my
kind of
camera on
miss.
for a second.
I kind of miss those. Where you can do the customizable plates and stuff. They don't do
Yeah.
that anymore with
Well,
anything.
it should for the PlayStation 5. I don't understand why Sony's told companies they can't. I would be wanting them to do it. Now I would
They
say,
did it
well, you
anyway.
have to submit it to make sure that the cover itself meets our minimum quality or whatever. But if I was Sony, anybody that wants to put a beautiful artwork picture on a cover and sell it for the PS5, I'd be letting them.
Yep. And Chizno, yes, you are right. Shmup doesn't rain down hell on you, basically. Well, at least not at least not bullets.
Yeah.
You can still get like rocks and enemy ships all
A
cluttering the
lot
screen,
of the
but
bullet hell games, the bullets can actually hit you too. You get
yeah,
your hitbox is much smaller than in a shump, and they and some of them have almost like a life bar kind of thing going on, so you can get hit multiple times. And although they usually don't actually have the life bar on screen, they'll let you get hit a certain amount of times before you blow up.
yeah, they're all different. I mean,
Yeah,
everyone is different. I know that they had a bullet eater function originally as a prototype for um, Ikaruga, but they dropped that because it was too hard. But
yeah.
it's still in the game. I mean, there's still that prototype option. Um, but yeah, you're
And
right. It's
and
it's
the
it doesn't
Saturn
rain down the same hell.
is the king of the shumps, shoot 'em ups, or how was you pronouncing it there?
Shmups.
Shmups. Yeah, that's the guy that I joined that Discord. Shmups is what he calls it. His channel's something
Some
shmup
people hate that
something.
term, but you know what? I
I
don't
don't
care.
bother
It's
me. I just, but you
we all
can't
know
call them
what it is,
shooters anymore because shooters are like Call of Duty.
right?
But people forget that they used to call these games shooters, and then eventually they started calling them different things, and yeah, it's a little confusing.
Yeah, shoot 'em ups or shmups. Yeah, or versus first person. I just call shooters first person shooters. I don't.
Yeah,
But yeah, you're right. I mean, when you say shooters, that usually means Call of Duty now. It
I try
doesn't
to
mean
say spaceship shooters and to make people understand, but
yeah.
there's so
And
many
even
of them.
then,
Yeah,
then you have games like 1943 or 1944 that they're not spaceship, they're
yeah. Well,
airplane.
some of them got like little anime characters and stuff
or
that fly
or in the
around.
hunt, you're a
Yeah,
submarine.
the graphics in that game is so amazing. Though you're underwater, and it's like, it's amazing. And
So
I'm telling you, when you play that game on an actual CRT, a big chunky CRT, it's
hmm
just amazing to look at and play. It's a sad that 32-bit don't get the love it deserves. I know everybody's wanting to make 8-bit or 16-bit graphics. I
I
want to see
agree.
more of that 32-bit look and style.
I
And
totally agree. Absolutely. I mean, or even I mean, hell, go with the 64-bit, 128-bit, whatever you want to call it. Because at the
yeah,
32, it got muddy. But go with the modern stuff. I mean, there are some shooters out there, and not just shooters, but games in general, that are like the 2D. Yeah, the good
there
old
were a
2D.
ton of 2D shooters that were on the original PS1, and many even as far as the PS2. But people didn't know because they didn't advertise them heavy,
I know.
and some were Japan only, but the majority wasn't. They were just released on it, and if you don't know to go hunt
Oh,
those games down, you just don't get them. And
here's a good one. R-Type Dimensions.
Oh yeah,
That's awesome because you can actually switch between the original graphics and the modern graphics on the
yeah.
fly. And the modern graphics, in my opinion, I mean, people are like, oh, we don't like the modern graphics.
There's
Not
like
me. I
there's like
love it.
20 R top games, and most people only know that there's three.
I
But
know.
no, there's like 20 of them. They just kept making them for many years.
Well, R-Type Final 2 is coming out soon.
Yeah, I'm
I
looking
think it's in
forward.
June or May. I forget if it's May or June, but I'm looking forward to that. I
Yeah,
hope
I'm
it's
a day
good. That
one
was,
purchase on that to show my support for the.
yeah, I actually have it on reserve at Amazon. So I think I have it. I think I'm getting both the PS version and the Switch version.
Yeah, I'm just getting the Xbox version. I'm
I
just
know.
happy for once I can buy something on the Xbox as a because those games for a lot of reasons just don't show up on the Xbox. If I think it's something about Xbox has that really stupid mentality. If it's not a $1 billion franchise, they don't want it or they don't want to deal with smaller stuff. Yeah, they'll let indie games on there and do things, but they just won't go for. I don't know.
Well, at
I
least it's
don't get
coming
it or
out.
understand it.
Yeah, but at least it's coming out. So that's something to look forward to. Excuse me, it's something to look forward to.
I
Um,
just think Microsoft should put their foot on the throat of limited run games neck and say you will release every one of these fucking collections or individual games for Xbox,
this is what's
and
strange about
there'll be
that.
a digital version as well as your. We'll let you release the disc version.
Well, this is what's strange about that. Digital Run has been asked about that, and they well again, this take this with
Xbox
a
doesn't
grain of
want
salt.
it.
Take
Xbox don't
this,
want it.
yeah.
They don't
They're like,
want. Thing is, limited run wants it to be all. They want to do the disc. Microsoft just wants stuff digital, so they don't care that limited run's not doing it. And I'm like, no, don't you understand? You can do both. Let limited run do the disc. You put it on your store and sell it digitally. It's okay. You can do
yeah,
both.
yeah, because the discs always
They
sell out,
they don't
and
want to do both because they don't want
mm,
people buying discs. They really don't. It's sad, but I've come to accept that.
yeah, no, yeah, no.
It's stupid. And even Xbox guys are always talking about Switch and how great it is. I'm like, well, don't you fucking get that people collect everything they can physical for the Switch, even though you can buy everything digitally for the
Mhm.
Switch. It's like do the same Xbox. Come on, you know what's going on, but yet you
I'll
don't.
I'll make a horrible confession. I have not every game, but I have a couple of games that I bought both the digital and the physical. So right there was two sales on one game. And why did I do that? Because I liked the game so much, I wanted to own it physically.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm gonna buy the new Switch. I've been saying for a year I was gonna get my own Switch. I've got my own dock. I borrow my son's Switch, which I don't think he even plays his hardly ever, but they got so many of the kinds of games I love. And then when they said, "Oh, 4K and uh, OLED screen," I'm like, "Oh, that's got my name written all over it."
Oh
I've
yeah,
got 50
it's
inch
coming.
4K television that I in my gaming hub, and if I doubt I'd ever be
Here's the
playing
thing:
it.
Nintendo's fiscal year ends in April. Expect something in June.
Yeah,
Not the release in June, but an announcement in June.
the
That's
announcement,
my
yeah,
prediction. That's my
and it'll
prediction.
be out by this holiday because I was all set to buy a PS5. I got 500. I've been sitting on, and you know what? I just thought, you know what? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till the mid-gen redesign
Hmm.
for the PlayStation because I think there's some things they need to fix internally. Not that it's anything bad or horrible. They're not like catching on fire and they're not dying or anything like that. But I just think there's some things that I want them to work out on a factory level, and they probably not going to do that until they do the whole smaller version or downsize.
Yeah. Oh, I will say that my PS5 has been a champ. I've been playing Control, which, by the way, I do recommend. The Ultimate
Oh, I
Edition,
love
and I've been
Remedy.
playing the
You
hell
got to
out of
tell
it.
me on that.
Yeah,
I
I'm
own
playing.
Control. I've not played it, but I actually own it. It's crazy.
Hey, you definitely play it, but I will say this to anybody who's unsure about it because this people I recommend it are like, okay. You actually have to give it about 5 hours. Now, I know normally normally when a game doesn't capture your interest in the first
Yeah,
10
I
minutes,
bitch about that a lot.
and I respect that. But this is the one exception I have to make. Now it is good enough in the first hour that you're like okay, but it's confusing because it doesn't explain anything. You're thrown into the story. I mean, you are literally thrown into it, and it comes together more and more. It does come together, but you have to stick with it. And the reason I say that too is when you first do your combat, when you first, encounter the combat, your character's weak as hell. I mean, you can't even dodge. You just kind of duck and cover, and it's not like the duck and cover of, say, Gears of War. It's not that good in terms of the duck and cover. But get a couple of upgrades under your belt, it gets so much better because you get a dodge, you get a shield, you get like kinetic powers. You can start taking enemies over and have them fight
Yeah,
for you.
I didn't buy it when it originally dropped, um, but when they finally announced the next gen upgrades and stuff and all that crap, and then I bought the edition that was going to have everything, and I got that at a discounted price. I can't remember what I paid, but it was not. I didn't pay 60 for it. I'm thinking $39.99, but I can't even remember now. I just remember I felt happy that I didn't pay 60 day one and not get the next gen upgrade. And then I got the next gen upgrade when I finally did buy it and paid less than full price.
I admit I got it through the PS Plus for free. That's the Ultimate Edition, the next
There
gen.
you go.
So I didn't pay for it at all. But it's yeah, and she's no
It's in
yes, it is a
Game
great
Pass
game.
too, ain't it? Or wasn't it in Game Pass at one
Yeah,
point?
yeah,
That's
I
what I
think
like.
it's
But
still
no, I
there.
actually paid for and bought a copy. But
It's still
yeah, but
worth
I
it.
still haven't
You know
played it
what?
for whatever reason.
Even if it doesn't matter if you paid for it, it's worth it. And it gets better as you get through it. And you know what? It has, I dare say, and I'm going to say this, and people are going to be like, "What?" But it has a slight Metroid feel to it because when you're playing the facility, you have to backtrack. You do have places you can't get to until you power up and get special abilities and cards. And as you do it and you go back, you can get more and more upgrades, and it's just really, really amazing. And seriously, it's just I mean, I don't have to maybe not to tell you Mojo on this one, but
Yeah, because
anyone who's
I've loved everything Remedy's
yeah,
done.
it,
I can't believe
Remedy's
Microsoft
awesome.
hadn't bought them. They're stupid not buying
Oh,
them.
and yes, it is. That's the other thing. There's a lot of Alan Wake references in there.
Yeah,
In fact, oh, this is fun. Um, this isn't really a spoiler. The guy who does, because they do like full motion video clips throughout as because you get the videos of what's happening. The guy who does Dr. Darling is actually the Alan Wake actor.
cool.
It's so I was geeking out when I saw that. It was just
Now I was
um,
hoping at some point
okay.
they combine the worlds up and have a game that'll have Alan Wake
Well, it's
and
supposed to be part of the same universe.
right and the star from the other Xbox game.
Oh,
The one
okay.
with
So
Tom.
Control is in Game Pass, but Ultimate Edition is not. Okay, thank you for that, Shizno. Thank you. Um, and forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name. I'm terrible with names,
I'm pretty sure
but
it's Shizno.
yep. Um,
Illegal.
but thank you for that. Yeah. So Ultimate is not yet, but I'm sure you get the upgrade anyway. I'm sure. And if not, buy it.
Yeah,
Just
I went ahead
just
and
buy
bought it to make sure I got
it.
the full deal because I just wanted to support Remedy, and I keep hoping that Microsoft buys them because I wanted to see what was the one that was the Xbox that everybody hated because it was 720p or 900p or something. Has the time function in
Yeah,
it.
but they fixed that with the Xbox Series X. Not Series X, I mean One X.
Yeah,
They upgraded it. Well, the people can complain all they want.
but the game.
That it was an amazing game.
But
That was
anyway,
Quantum Shift.
yeah,
Not Quantum Shift.
Quantum Break.
Quantum Break. Thank you.
Yeah, but anyway, that character from that game and Alan Wake and then the chick from Control are all going to be in a game together at some point. And maybe if Rockstar will let them, the detective from those games, will they let uh, Remedy make one of them? You know what I'm talking about? Where they made
Yeah,
the
yeah.
movie.
Um, God, I can't think of it, but yeah, I know what you mean.
How embarrassing! Yeah, that game was
Yep.
big. I just watched the movie about a month ago. I've had it forever on disc, and I just throwed it in one day. And then, actually, what I was doing, I was testing something out, and I just happened to grab that and throw that disc in, and I changed out DVD players or something. I don't know, but anyway, once you put in a good movie, sometimes you just get stuck watching it.
Yeah, true
Gizmo
enough.
gave it to us.
Yep,
Max Payne.
Max Payne.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh
My
God.
God,
yes.
we need to get him on the show.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Oh man. Well, it is 9 after 9, so I think we have to wrap this up a bit. So
That's fine. Every show
but
don't have to be 3 hours. We're good.
yeah,
Big, nice, tight show. We covered all the major topics, though.
Right.
The really horrible show and the all that other stuff. I don't want to bring it all back up because we haven't been through it all. But cool.
So, well, awesome show again. Thank you for having me on, as always.
Always good. Always good.
So yeah, and you can find me on Twitter, Grey Wolf Gamer 1. It's all one word, just like my screen name there. And I'm pretty open, so just friend me or message me if you want. And, well, there you go.
Cool. Same with me. Mojo_blues1. I don't know. I'm stuck with that one on there, but
yeah, the ones I don't get it either. There's no other Grey Wolf Gamer that I'm aware of, but it's.
I don't know. There was somebody stole my Mojo Blues. Yeah,
that sucks.
Tried to
There probably is a Grey Wolf Gamer, and I don't know who he is or she is, but whatever. I'm the only one I know.
Second viewer. Holy crap, we're rolling, man, and we're ending the show.
Yes, I know.
Damn.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's going to drop back down to 1. So
yeah. But just no thank you, and you too. You have a great night. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, but anyway, Mojo_blues1, both Twitter and YouTube. Hopefully, I'll start dropping some videos on YouTube. It won't just be these podcasts. But I was just on the show the other day, or actually yesterday, with Xbot 448, and starting back next Thursday. I think it's next Thursday. It might be Thursday after. We'll be back on the next podcast, Next Gen podcast with Mads Gaming and Jamie Moran. So that's always cool.
Yeah,
we took a couple weeks off because he's got some work stuff going on. So I think we're going to skip next week too. So it'll be that week after. I'll be back on that show. But
she's not. Thank you for saying that. I was saying it correctly. I was worried about that. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying. All right, super. Well,
all right, guys, I'm going to end this, and we will see you maybe next week. We'll see. Sometimes we skip a week. We're not bound by. Well, we do it every Saturday nights, but we're not bound for every Saturday night.
Right.
Life always takes precedence. So,
true enough.
Anyway, thanks for. Oh, Skint jumped in. Yeah, we're just rolling. We had Chisnall Eat and Skint Eastwood.
Skint, you came in just as we were leaving.
We can start bringing Skint in on the show if he wants.
Yes.
But we're ending the show tonight, brother. So next week, I will make sure to send you the link, and that way you can actually jump in with us.
Yeah.
If you so choose. I hadn't been sending him the link because he's not been available on Saturdays for a while. I've just been sending it to you. So, but yeah, I'll make sure to send it out to him also next week.
Sure.
But cool. Yeah, good show. We actually had a couple people live and actually even had some chat going on with them.
Nice.
I like to see that. We don't usually get that. And so maybe we'll end up with about 15 views after a week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for 20.
13, yeah. So it's time to make that next big jump. All right, brother. I'm getting in broadcast, and I'll see you in a week.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. Take care, man.
Right.